So now, what is RPA? It is an application of technology governed by business logic and structured input aimed at automating business processes. Using RPA tools, a company can configure software or a robot to capture and interpret applications for processing a transaction, manipulating data, triggering responses, and communicating with other digital systems. So the scenarios of RPA, they range from things as simple as generating an automatic response to an email to deploying thousands of bots, each programmed to automate jobs in an ERP system. So what are the benefits of RPA? It reduces staffing costs and human error. Basically, what I was just explaining a few minutes ago, that let's say you are an employer and you are trying to cut costs, the amount of money that you spend on your customer service agent, on all of these processes that cost so much money, or even the ones that you outsource. You can just simply use this tool and it's going to replace so many workers. So you'll be able to cut costs and have more profits in the end. So a managing director at Deloitte LP points to bank experience with implementing RPA, in which the bank redesigns its claim processes by deploying 85 bots to run 13 processes, handling 1.5 million requests per year. The bank added capacity equivalent to more than 200 full-time employees at approximately 30% of the cost of recruiting more staff. So they increased their efficiency. That bank increased its efficiency, but they cut the costs of their staff by 30%. These bots, they are typically low cost and they are easy to implement. They require no custom software or deep systems integration. This type of characteristics, they are crucial as organizations are pursuing growth without adding extra expenditure or friction among the workers. So this simple chart you see, it just show you like the benefits of RPA, accuracy. Robots are not like human beings. They don't make the common mistakes where you mistakenly add a zero where you're not meant to add a zero, or you forget to call back a client that called you, or you make all this, all these human errors that we make. Robots, they don't make those type of errors. Improved employee morale. RPA solutions allow for employees to focus on more strategic tasks. Because the RPA, the online robot, the technology is doing a lot of the job for the employees, it reduces their workload and increases their morale so that they can cut their own tasks into what really matters and focus on productivity. The RPA also increases productivity 10 times faster than any human being can. And the major reason for that is because human beings get tired. Robots, computers, they don't get tired. So the productivity is at an all-time. Reliability, RPA solutions are always on. You can never have to worry about a sick day. Can you see? Human beings fall sick, robots don't fall sick. Consistency, RPA solutions, they follow rules 100% of the time. They're always consistent. Non-invasive solutions, the RPA solutions, they easily integrate with third-party and in-house applications. Third-party applications are applications that you outsource, like you are working with, let's say you're that builds, let's say you're like Domino's Pizza now. So Domino's Pizza, they have their website for ordering pizza. But let's say Domino's Pizza is not in charge of the logistics of the pizza. So logistics of pizza to their customers. So they can outsource that business to another company like Uber. Uber can be helping them to handle the logistics of how their delivery agents to be able to traverse across Lagos for that. So when you use RPA, if Domino's Pizza is using RPA, their technology will be able to be integrated easily with third-party and also in-house applications that are built by their own corporation. So compliance is another important tool. RPA solutions have built-in features to guarantee perfect IT compliance, low technical barrier. For you to implement these solutions, because they are done in all-in-one package, you don't necessarily need to bring in an experienced like 10-year software engineer to implement them. No, any basic person that understands how to use computers, work with applications, can implement these solutions. So upwards of 15 to the RPA implementation, upwards of 15 to 20 steps can be automated. They are part of a chain value known as intelligent or automation. By 2020, which is last year, automation and artificial intelligence will reduce employee requirements in business shared services centers by 65%. According to Gartner, which says RPA market will top $1 billion by 2020. By that time, 40% of large enterprises will have adopted an RPA software tool, up from less than 10%. That shows you that across the business world, across the corporate world, RPA is going fast. That's why when you put on so many websites, you see so many chatbots that are ready to help you navigate through the website. So the things where RPA can help organizations on their digital transformation, they enable better customer service, they ensure business operations and processes comply with regulations and compliance standards, speed up processing time, improve efficiency by digitizing and auditing process data, reduce costs by reducing manual and repetitive tasks, and they enable employees to be more effective. Now that we've talked about the good things about RPA, I want us to look at the bad things, kind of like the bad effects of this technology. Now, RPA is good for many companies, but it's not actually for all companies, because with automation technology, it has the potential to eliminate jobs. Exactly what, I was just telling you a few minutes ago about how RPA, it helps employers to cut costs. They are not going to be employing more people, so they'll be making more money while spending less. Well, now when you turn the lens to the employee, imagine you're an employee, let's say you're a customer service agent that was the one that used to text all these consumers when they text the company, the one that used to reply the emails, the one that used to do a robot is going to be replacing you, taking away your job. So with the fact that this RPA technology is now spreading all over the world, it's becoming such a big thing, thousands of people are going to lose their jobs. And I think that comes to the fact that we as young people need to really we need to be ahead of the curve. We need to be learning technologies and learning skills whereby this type of technology like RPA, which is very good for business, is not going to end up replacing us. So that we'll be the ones at the forefront of it. So while enterprises embracing RPA are attempting to transition many workers to new jobs, a research estimates that RPA software will threaten the livelihood of over 230 million workers. That's approximately 9% of the global workforce. Installing thousands of bots has taken a lot longer and is more complex and costly than most organizations have hoped it would be. The platforms on which bots interact often change, and the necessary flexibility isn't always configured into the bot. However, a new regulation requiring manual changes to application form could throw off months of work in the back office on a bot that's nearing completion. So what he's basically saying is that even though this technology has been implemented in so many corporations, not every corporation has been able to implement it well enough. Sometimes it takes months for them to be able to implement the technology well in order for it to be functioning in their corporation. So they're listed here are just some basic tips for effective RPA. You need to understand the process complexity which you are automating. You need to understand that so that you'll be able to automate it perfectly. lack of documentation for the existing process. You need to help your team in adopting automation, shortage of robotic process automation people and skills. You need to focus on the specific objectives that the RPA technology, that the robots are going to be working on. You need to automate incrementally and prioritize on what really matters. You need to think of long-term solutions, and you need to find ready-made solutions. Plan ahead for the switch to automation. You are switching from something that a human being was doing before to something a robot will be doing. You need to plan ahead. And you need to also calculate the return of interest, of the return of investment of the automation that you are implementing. So understanding the complexity, understanding the process completely which you are working on, basically you need to provide oversight, review and validate the methods that you are using, optimize tooling, consistency and consolidation, document and test before production, recommend refinements, retire automated processes. You need to understand the process before planning for any process automation, basically. Next, you need to establish a proper documentation culture, starting with the standards and the repetitive processes. You need to document all the processes that you are going to do with the RPA. You need to start documenting the standard processes, provide a process documentation capability to capture and record initial costs, provide templates to establish common standards for documentation, establish shared repositories to document workflows, establish a process review team or committee to evaluate and peer review recommended information before you implement the RPA technology in your company's processes. So you need to also help your team. People who are not really familiar with this type of technology. People who are working on manual processes, working on things that humans are normally doing. The introduction of automation may create this fear of the loss of their own value to the corporation. So you need to help them to adopt to this technology and make them focus on the business outcome and the efficiency that the RPA will bring, rather than how it will affect their own value in the corporation. So you also need to automate tools, vendors continually to add process definition and automatic capabilities to management, monitoring, and supporting these tools. These tools are used by functional specialists to simplify day-to-day activities with the area of the specialty. You need to focus on the specific objectives, focus on what really matters for implementation. You need to start automating by creating lists of what measures will have impact on the business and prioritize them by how much effort and risk will be involved in implementing these automations. You need to also think of long-term solutions, not just the short-term solutions. You need to focus on ready-made solutions, things that the RPA technology that is already made for you, instead of wasting money on trying to build your own. You need to plan ahead. You need to prepare your workers, prepare your employees, prepare your workflow before you switch to the automation. And most importantly, you need to look at the costs and the time that you save when we are automating a process before you decide to jump into RPA. So now we'll talk about the amazing examples of robotic process automation, call center operations. What I was talking about, like when you are calling a call center, customer service, when the issue gets escalated to human customer service agents, RPA can help consolidate all the information about a customer on a single screen so that the agents have all the information they need from multiple systems to provide exemplary service. Migration, when you are moving the relevant information from legacy systems in order to have the data available for newer systems. Legacy systems are basically old systems, whether they are computers physically or they are applications that a corporation has been using for years. And let's say that corporation is now shifting. Hello? And let's say that corporation is now shifting. Yes? Eh?
Can you round up?
Time's up. I'll be quick. So let's say the company is shifting to a new form of technology. That's where RPA can step in. Claims administration. RPA is used to input and process claims, especially in the healthcare and insurance industries. Onboarding employees, the help desks for the human IT staff is also useful there. Sales processes, we are working with CRM, customer relationship management systems. RPA is also very useful there. Scheduling systems, we are scheduling patients in a hospital. It's very, very important there. Credit card applications, the processing of banks and all these big financial organizations. They are working with thousands and thousands of transactions every day. RPA is used there to ease the process for them. Expense management for companies that are spending lots of money. RPA can help them in organizing their process. Also, when you are looking for pulling data from multiple websites, there is technology like, I think it's Honey, the very popular application is RPA technology also. That let's say you want to buy a certain wristwatch. That technology will show you different websites that are selling that wristwatch, and it will give you the cheapest price and the cheapest shipping fee for that particular wristwatch here at work. So this is just a simple chart that shows you the RPA for employee onboarding process. The offer confirmed, the candidate accepts, started agreed, new employee setup, new starter joins. You can see the bot doing everything in the bottom. Challenges of RPA, I think we've already talked about that, so no need to go so deep. Some basic challenges, the scalability, so limited ability. Sometimes you may not be able to scale your RPA to the level that you want. Limited abilities of RPA also, even though it can do a lot, it can't do everything. There are still many things you still need human beings for. Security, it has to be protected sometimes because hackers may try to hack into your corporation. Privacy, same thing with the hackers. Hackers may try to steal data from your corporation, so RPA needs to be protected. Now, the most popular RPA company in the world is UIPacks. So UIPacks is basically a company that automates redundant tasks and eliminates human interventions for corporations. So they work across different departments in companies like human resources, IT automation, healthcare payer automation. So like here is, let's say a customer wants to seek help now. The customer service RPA, you can see this is the RPA at work. It progresses towards a zero-touch customer experience. You take robots out of your agents. You automate concrete back-off activities. These are corporations like AWS, Microsoft, IBM that use this technology, UiPath technology, to ease and to increase the efficiency of their workload. So thank you very much for this presentation. I hope you guys have been able to learn and understand what RPA, robotic process automation, is used for and how it can be applied in corporations. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, I'm very open to answering.
All right, thank you for that presentation. Abubakar, you may come up now. Abubakar, you may come up now.
Yeah, good morning.
Leonard, please stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
Leonard, sharing.
Okay.
going? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello. Good
We can hear
morning.
you, Abubakar.
Um, uh, this is my first presentation on this, and the topic is communication and organization effectiveness. Organization effectiveness. I'm sorry, my network is somehow bad. Here are my context definitions and the major topic: communication, organization effectiveness, summary, questions. Please, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Um, Communication is simply means the act of transferring information from one place to another or group to another. In every communication, at least it involves one sender of the message and receiver. The transmission of the message from sender to receiver can be affected by a huge range of things. This includes one, emotions, the cultural situation, the medium used to communicate, and even our location. That is why the term requires an element of success in transmitting or importing a message, whether information, ideas, or emotions. Organization effectiveness is the concept of how effective an organization is in achieving the outcomes the organization intends to produce, meaning it is the process of producing desired effect or being productive without waste of time. Without any waste. Which brings us to the main topic: communication and organization effectiveness. Communication is one of the most important levels of management that organization can implement for the formation of teams and achieving valuable performance. It is a vital management component to any organization, whether the purpose is to update employees or new policies, whether the process is to update employees on new policies, to prepare for their successor, to ensure safety throughout the organization, or to listen to the attitudes of employees. Effective communication is an integral issue in efficient management. To be successful, organizations should have comprehensive policies and strategies for communicating with their constituencies, employees, and stakeholders, as well as with the community at large.
Abubakar,
Meaning that, yes,
are you reading to us?
I'm trying to, I normally read the concept before I explain. Or are you not
There's
getting
no
me?
time to read. You just explain your topic and go straight to the point and share all the things we need to know.
Okay, okay, so that is just it. Like this now to be successful, organization have to be like to have comprehensive policy and strategy for communicating with their constituencies, employees, stakeholders. With also, yeah. What I'm just trying to point is that effective communication contribute to organization in such a way, like for example, it builds employee morale, satisfaction, and engagement. It helps employee understand terms and conditions of the employment and drives their commitment and loyalty. And some of the contribution it gives that it gives employees a voice. That is, it increases the full competence of improving employee satisfaction with their employers, things like that. And it also helps to reduce the chances of misunderstandings. Like effective communication also improve the process and procedures and ultimately creates greater efficiency and reduce cost. So, however, ineffective communication may increase the chances of misunderstanding, damage relationship, breaks trust, and increase anger, something like that. Are you seeing what I'm doing? So it's just a little addition on it that organization can build or develop a communication strategy by linking communication to the strategic plan, including the organization mission, visions, and value, its strategic goals, objectives, and its employment brand. Are you getting what I'm saying? For example, by safeguarding the credibility to establish loyalty and build trust. For example, like maintaining consistency to establish a strong employment brand. All those things are involved. Like, for example, also to listen to employees and to members of the leading team, and also communication give helps in like seeking input from all constituencies, providing feedbacks, and the rest. That is part of the communication activeness towards organization. And in summary, effective communication is critical to any organization and can help in many ways. For example, um, communication plays a role in product development, customer relations, and employees management. Um, Sometimes, in many cases, under this concept, you realize that communication establish a clear expectation for employees and customers as well. That is, it will like convey how their performance will impact the company and give them and like let's say indication of what they need to do to achieve positive feedback. And for the customers, it helps manage their expectation about service issues or even about how best to like interact with the organization. So, and also regarding this issue, also like building strong relationships in the sense that like trust and loyalty are boosted through effective communication, which we know is like the key factors in any relationship. However, strong relationship will extend, will extend achievable, build strong communication, right? Strong communication about the product and services and company culture and value, stuffs like that. So in addition, effective communication will provide employees the knowledge, structure, and positive work environment they need to feel comfortable dealing with conflict and like resolving issues effectively. So I think that is just the little briefing about the topic I present. So if there is anyone with any question, you can feel free and ask.
Well, presentation.
Hello?
I'm done with your presentation.
Yes?
Are you done with your presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay. My question is there any tools that organization can use in order to aid communication and effectiveness?
Tools. Yeah, there are a
Yeah.
lot of tools that you can use. For example, you can mobile phone, let's say, social apps like let's say like WhatsApp, Slack, and other things that you can use to pass information to like your employees or employees to pass information to their employers. We have apps, you can use social media is another means like email, all the rest. Those are part of the examples that you can.
Okay. Leonard, do you have a question for anybody?
I have a question for Abubakar.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Please, I want to ask Abubakar, in your presentation, I think I grasped what you are trying to say, but I want to ask, what does vulnerability play, the role of vulnerability in communication, in the area of communication? What does role of vulnerability play? I don't know if you understand me.
Like probability, you are doubting like
vulnerability, like you,
okay.
like sometimes From what you said about
Yes.
the misunderstanding.
Yes. Okay, from the word misunderstanding.
That usually say everything. Yeah, that say everything, regardless of what other people think, you know, what other people will consider as like, you shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't, you know, what does that type of vulnerability, yes, what does it play in a communication this thing?
Like, are you talking of like perception, like how
Yeah,
people
like the way, yeah,
like
that's what I mean.
like
Yes.
perception? Okay, you mean like perception?
Mhm.
So in communication, sometimes it depends on like sometimes the like hierarchy. For example, you are talking to someone that is like above your rank or something like that. Sure, you understand what I'm saying?
I'm
So
listening.
sometimes, so sometimes, like if you are communicating with like, for example, someone that is below your limit or someone that is above your limit, there are ways you tend to speak to him, and both of you, there are ways you tend to listen to each other. So sometimes you have to maintain like what you said. So if there is no like proper training, or there is no how will I even say it? Like if there is no politeness, like in what you are saying, or you tend to disrespect somebody, you will
Or
not
like
like,
the person where normally naturally lack morale
yes,
or
morally,
something.
something like that. That's what I'm saying. So in that aspect, so you have to be formal. Like that's why every organization have their own formal procedure of like communicating to others, because in order to avoid let's say personal bruises or something like that. So I think one has to be very careful when like communicating to, or you have to put in mind that, yeah, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm supposed to say before you even alter the words or something like that. So it really has this vulnerable. It really has impact on communication. It really has impact on communication.
Sorry, you didn't answer my question, but the time is going, but there's no problem, sir. But it's not that that's not exactly what the
You
question I'm
expect.
asking. Yes. What
I
I'm
just
saying
want
is that
like
in an organization,
yes,
some people, we are raised from different background.
yes, different background. Yeah.
From what you said earlier, that some people may from a misunderstanding and a lack of engagement, that if there is no the communication is not properly structured, there will be lack of engagement and some other stuff in an
Yeah, I said
organization.
it helps to reduce the chances for misunderstanding. Yeah, I said
Exactly.
that. Yes, yes,
So
yes.
normal, a lot of people like have their way of communicating and everything, but
Yes.
in a situation where some people it's not that they are bad or they are morally bad or something, but they just like they make themselves vulnerable by saying everything they say. They are open, they are very open, in which some
Okay,
people
very
don't
open.
don't yeah, some people don't like. You
Okay, okay,
understand?
okay.
So
Yes,
that's
I'm
what I
saying.
mean. Yeah.
So, like, what are you asking? Like, I see that you're asking of like, does that have any impact on communication, or what do you?
What role does that play in an organization? That's what I want to know.
Okay, what role does it play in an organization that vulnerable, right? People like that.
Yes.
Okay, like what role, in what sense? Like in terms of communication, or what? I just want you to be like more clear with your question.
What I'm saying is that
Because if I get you, like you are saying of like people that they are very open. Do you mean like
yes.
extrovert people,
Yeah,
extrovert people that just
yeah.
like
No, not
very
necessarily.
open?
They might not be extrovert. They might not be,
Okay.
some people are naturally like, they just, when they see things, they
Mm.
say it. When they like, they are just open generally. Regardless of what other people think, they will
Okay.
just
Abubakar,
they say
let me
whatever.
help him. Let me help him. He's trying to ask a question. Those that are not conservative with words, they just see anything they see the way it is.
I think that, okay, it depends. Like the organization, if, for example, the organization realizes that some people are some of the people that are like that, you might like train them. So you understand? Because this is something that will like bring a lot of misunderstanding between people. Because if maybe someone is very open, and maybe you do something and he's like he kind of talk to you about it, and maybe he did not even control it. People that lack control on how to speak up to other people, it will bring a lot of issues that he's working with. The organization can decide to like give him a training, like sponsoring for a training, or like organize a training for him to make him understand that this is something that will like bring a lot of damages to the flow of it will affect the effectiveness of the organization, the tax. For example, if it is a tax or something like that. So people like that tends to like bring a lot of confusion or like a misunderstanding. In which, if there is that misunderstanding or something like that, work cannot be more effective. So I think if someone is like that, and maybe the organization feels like this one cannot work, maybe they can decide to change his place. For example, if he's a kind of person that is very open, and being that very open can affect like the work of other employees, they can decide to like change him to like to put him in a particular place that will not like engage in a lot of people, will not engage with a lot of people. I think that will be more okay if he's not engaged with a lot of people, like maybe a place that needs rigorous ideas. Maybe he's kind of very maybe he's kind of very open, like to the extent that he might be affecting his decisions. He might be like confusing, bringing confusion or argument or something like that. I think it is more preferable if he's taken to another place, like somewhere that will have less engagement with people or something like that. Did I get
All
what
right.
you are saying?
Okay. Thank you for that presentation.
Thank you.
It's time for stand up, and we are about 5 minutes late already. Please let everyone attend the stand up.